Right guys, hopefully I'm in shot. Good morning from very frosty Scotland. It's Terry here from Smooth Workshop, coming to you with a product review. Product I'm going to be reviewing today, now it's a small pot, I'll show you when we get down to the bench. It's a metalising powder. You've probably all heard about the C1 metalising powder that you get. This one is a chrome metalising powder. Oh, my camera's jiggling about here. By Uschi Van Der Rosten. Now, hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. What I'm going to show you today is how to apply the product, what difference the base colour underneath the product makes. I might do a quick demo on what it looks like while we splash a clear over it, a tape test, and possibly a quick candy sort of thing, show you what it's like for candy. But yeah, so come across the bench and I'll show you what I've been up to. I really love this stuff. See you in a bit. Hey guys, welcome back. It's Terry from Smooth Workshop here again. Right, hopefully I can work with this camera sitting up here. Yeah, the product I'm going to review, there's a few metalising powders out there. A lot of people use the C1. This is on the same vein. It's Uschi Van Der Rosten. I can make out the item number there, 4008. It's a metal polishing powder. This is a chrome type. It comes in a 25mm pot. It gives you a general guideline on the back there of how to put it on, and the website and everything there. They do recommend this is done on, say you've painted your whatever subject it is you're going to apply this to, that you wait till it's dry but not fully cured for best results. So possibly about 3 hours after you've sprayed the part that you're going to use the buffing powders on, to do it then. There's no stipulation on whether it needs to be acrylic or a lacquer or an enamel. There's no stipulation on that. It does state obviously that the shinier the surface is underneath will give a brighter effect, and that varying the base colour will give you a different tone of chrome. Now, the reason that I personally have went over this over a C1 is from pictures I've seen, this gives a slightly shinier chrome. I've actually started using it on my bikes for brake discs and that. So, right, when you buy it, all you actually get is a pot. It's under a tenner. I can't remember what I paid for it now. I got it last year. The C1 metalizer comes in a box and it gives you gloves and a mask and makeup applicators and all that sort of stuff. You don't get that with this. It's just the pot. And inside the pot is powder that gets everywhere. Okay? Very, 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 very fine powder. So what I would say to you is, if you're using it, do wear gloves. The mask thing, if you don't want to be inhaling it, you don't want to be ingesting it. If you work neatly with it, I don't see that you need a mask. As far as it not coming with makeup applicators, you know, you get bags and bags of them. So this is what they recommend that you put it on with, is a little makeup applicator, like what your wife would use. Whoop, that one's on the floor. Like your wife or girlfriend would use to apply their eye makeup, or if you're a lady modeler, what you use to do your own eye makeup, of course, because there are lady modelers out there. So yeah, these are relatively inexpensive. So yeah, the fact that C1 comes with a couple of these is neither here or there, and I use gloves anyway. The other thing that you will need is, obviously, you will need something to put it on. Now, if any of you have watched my new Steinores range product review, which is also on the channel, I've got a range of spoons here, ranging from the standard black Steinores, the gloss black, the new silver, the dark flesh. There's a lovely blue, there's a pink, and there's a neutral flesh tone as well. So that's what I'm going to use to show you how to put this product on. You will need something to buff it up with. These are just, you know, makeup removal pads. These are Co-op. Other shops are available. So these, you know, soft cotton things that, again, used for removing makeup, whether you're male or female, it doesn't really matter. So you'll need, excuse me, frog in my throat. You'll need some of those. So I'm going to show you putting this stuff on. Then what I'm planning on doing, we'll see how long the video runs. I'm going to get myself some Tamiya tape. And I'm going to mask off a couple of sections on maybe a few spoons, maybe them all. We'll see how we go. And show you how it works with the tape test. What I do know from using it is that you can paint quite easily over it with Tamiya paints afterwards. So having used it before, you could use your metalising powder, mask it off, say you just wanted a wee section in a colour, like you're doing a candy coat or something like that. Apply your paint or your candy coat on top, take the masking off, and you've got chrome on either side of your candy or whatever. I might do by brush. I'm not mucking about with an airbrush. I might do a quick. I've got a few clear colours that I can put over. So I'll start off first of all by. I'll just do one spoon at a time. Now you see a lot of people doing this and they're really messy with it. It might white out a bit on the camera, but I'm going to start off by taking this off. Now the less mess you make with this, because it is a really fine powder, the better. You don't need to slather it on all over the place and have it all over your mat. So just dip your applicator in till it's on, and in small circular movements, just rub it onto the subject. Now, I'm not expecting a brilliant shine off of this. This is a trick that I use if I'm wanting like a steel disc or something like that. So the Stynylrez Res Black as standard has a slightly satin sheen to it, but you don't need a lot. And I'm basically just rubbing this in circles. So I'm going to do that. Now, any blemishes on any of these spoons was when I sprayed it. It's nothing at all to do with the finish of the product. So I'm just giving that a really good rub in with my applicator. I need to stop doing these accents. I've been told off for it once already. Okay, so I'm just rubbing that in. As you can see, you get a little bit of it dropping off round about you. So that's that on. Now obviously this is quite a matte sort of finish, so I'm not expecting a perfect gloss shine. So then I'll take my makeup removal pad and I shall start buffing it. You'll see it coming off. Now, this is where I go for, because it's not a shiny surface under here, you can get some nice metal tones underneath. It is better on a gloss. I'm just tried it because I've got these spoons here. I thought I'll give it a go. No, it doesn't look like chrome. Has it changed the colour? Yes. It's given you a sort of metallic steel effect on just that non-shiny black there. If it happens with the rest of the spoons, I may just do the test on the shiny one. So I do have a shiny one. This was the Stynylrez Gloss Black. So again, you don't need a lot. And you'll notice a difference straight away with it going on to the gloss. Okay, so I'm just rubbing this in all over in little circular movements. You don't need a lot. Little circular movements all the way around. And this is the difference between using a matte underneath and a gloss. I might not go over all the other colours because it's obviously showing up better on the gloss. I usually use it on a gloss base. So this is just gloss Stynylrez. Okay, so I've given that a little rub over, and immediately you can see the difference between the gloss base and the non-gloss base. Now I'm going to get a little or buff up with my makeup remover. Now, as I say, this is just a quick test. And maybe I might need to put a bit more on here and there. It's always the same when you do the test. They might not come out quite as you imagine, but can you see the chrome shine off of that? I'm going to try putting a little bit more on and going over it again, just to see if I can give it a bit more of a luster. I might not have got a decent coat over it all. So you can reapply it. As I say, any blemishes coming up on this spoon is the paint surface itself. So I'm just giving that another wee work over there. There you can see. Now looking at this, I might not bother doing it on the other matte ones. I'll do the test just on this spoon. I was going to do it with different colours under it. What you tend to find is that the colour underneath, you can go with a gloss black or a gloss blue or a gloss yellow. It just gives a slightly different hue behind it. I don't think these mostly matte spoons are going to give us the effect that we want, so I'm just going to put them to the side. That's neither here for there. I don't know if I'll get more on that other spoon if I give that just a little bit of a rub. Okay. I don't know if you can see the reflection in that. That is absolutely fantastic. Right, so that's your chrome spoon. I'm going to try this one again. I know it's not got a gloss underneath. See if I can get a bit more of a shine on it. I'm expecting not. As with all high shine sort of stuff, you want to put it on a gloss base, as with all your metallics. Depends on the brightness of metallic. I mean, if you want to go for just a steel effect like this, they do it in a steel. I've seen myself doing it on brake discs on a bike, so I might use that silver spoon just to give a kind of steel effect. So, as I say, this was over the standard ordinary Steiny. It's not going to buff up to high shine, and it's not quite giving me an effect that I would use, to be fair. It's just more like it's turned it into more a steel. Let's try the metallic spoon. This is all live, so I'm just, you know, experimenting. So this is it's kind of semi-gloss. It's the Steinores silver. Let's see what happens when we put some of this stuff. I'm not expecting much from it because it's not gloss. But see if we get a different shade. Just really to show that the colour underneath changes the colour of the reflection on the top. Now, where I have used this is on some bikes with a glossier silver, where I want a steel brake disc. I should have really prepped the spoons better and got a few colours that I would have actually used it on, but yeah, waffling, Terry, waffling. So there we go, that's it over a silver, slightly different colour. Obviously it's the same powder going on a different spoon. I'm not expecting this to buff up shiny, and it's not. Yeah, there's not much difference here. Right, so that was just proving my point that it needs to be a gloss that it goes on to. So that was probably a bit of a pointless test, but right, so we've got this really shiny. So there's no really any point putting it on. I'm just going to actually show you. I did gloss a brake disc on my RZ, and this is the metalising powder on the top, and it gives it more, because it was a glossy finish underneath, it gives it more of a metal effect, not a chrome effect, but more like a steel disc effect. That's what I was trying to show you, but I hadn't obviously prepped one of the spoons with how I did this, and obviously it's not as bright as that, but the underneath that was a gloss silver, so it's giving it a slightly different sheen to the gloss black. So having a different colour under it does change the tone. I could easily have just sprayed those spoons with a bit of clear, but I'm just doing this as a quick test. Right, so we've got this one. So I can touch it with my thumb and everything now. I'm not really leaving any major marks on there. There's nothing coming off of my thumb. If you do get any fingerprints, you can just give it another wee buff up. It will scratch. There's no point in me telling you it won't scratch. It will scratch. You would need to seal it in with a lacquer or something like that. Now I'm just going to put this to the side because I don't want this all over my bench. If you do get this stuff on your bench, it goes everywhere. So this is all buffed off. So the next test I'm going to do, I should have some, there we have, some masking tape that I've already got stuck to the bench. I stick it to the bench to de-tack it, so I'm just going to take a bit of this up. Take my glove off now because I won't need it. Take a little corner of this up. Right, and I'm just going to lay it across part of it there. Get a wee cotton bud. Give it a wee rub down as if I was, you know, then I spray it, and I come back, and then I'll just put this corner back up again. My tweezers should be handy. Now, obviously, you're not going to rip it off. You're going to do the same process as you would do when you are doing your model. Now, you notice that tape's coming off. There is no product coming off with the tape, and it's still shiny underneath. Yeah? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a slightly longer bit, and I'll just give it a wee buff up. Slightly longer bit. So bear with me if I like fiddle about. As usual, I get an idea in my head and I never plan. I must have cut these into shorter bits. Give me a long bit. I've probably been working on the bench and cut through these at some point. As you do. Right, give me a longer bit. Right, so I'm going to put that bit up there like that. Run it off the end so I can peel it. So there we go. I'll rub that down nice and tight on it there. Right, I'm going to get another bit the same if I can, if I've not cut through this bit. All the best laid plans. Right, so that's got me another strip of this. So no, I've not had to let it cure for any length of time or anything, and I'm just laying it down. Give it a wee burnish down. There's method in the madness for this. Right, so imagine you say this was a bonnet of a car or something, right? And it was, you wanted it chromey up the side, chromey up the side. Right, so you've done your gloss black underneath, but you're wanting this bit in the middle a different colour. So I shall just pull out me paint palette again. Sorry if this whites out the camera. I shall put a little touch of X28 or suitable isopropyl thinners in there. I shall take a colour. What colour will we go for? Will we go for candy blue, just for something different? Right, so this is just Tamiya X23 clear blue, and I shall take the cap off it. I shall give it a little stir because I've not used that for ages and ages, just to give it a bit of a stir up. Get the pigment up through it, as you do. Okay, so that's your Tamiya clear blue. So that one's thingy. Talking to myself again. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that Tamiya blue in there. Clean me stirry stick. Now normally you would do this with airbrush if you're candying something, but it's just to show you that you can paint top of this stuff and stuff like that. Right, so there we go. So that's just Tamiya. It's one of their clear lacquers, X23, but it's a blue one. I've got yellow, green and orange and red and all that sort of thing. Right, so I'm going to grab myself just any old brush. Give me a brush. I don't care what kind of brush it is, or just a cheap. There we go, just a cheap Revel brush, right? So I'm going to, because Tamiya paint needs thinned, I'm going to dip it into the thinners. Into the thinners like so, into the paint, into the thinners. Give it a little bit of a mix down because it goes on better. Load my brush up. Right, and this is just for a bit of fun, guys. I know it's not going to be a perfect candy coat, but I'm just going to paint right over the top of that with the blue. not been particularly neat with it. Probably been a bit heavy with it. But there you go. Normally you would airbrush this stuff on here. Right, so, right, we've got some candy blue going on in the middle there. So I'm just going to wash this brush out. Just bear with me a second, I'll get myself another piece of tissue. This is off to my side here. It's kind of live at the bench, but it's not live at the bench. Yeah, so just going to get the worst of that off. Right, so on that side we have the candy blue, and what I'm going to put on the other one of the other sides, just to show you something else that's quick drying. I know a lot of people frown on it because it's a floor product, but it's just for a quick test. You know, it's 2 times more shine. Yeah, and all I'm going to do with that is I'm going to take a little drop of that and just go dunk my brush straight in it. Right, have we got some on the brush? Yeah. Right, so that's a wee bit 2 times more shine in there. It's just save me farting about. Because this stuff dries off really quickly. And I'm going to take, right, that's kind of the same amount of shiny as that is shiny. So I'm just going to apply, direct with brush, a little bit of 2 times more shine up the side to see how much it takes the shine away. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let that dry for 5 or 10 minutes. So we're going to have one side that's buffed up, masking tape, a quick candy, masking tape, and a bit with some clear coat on, and then I'll let that go off for a bit and we will pull the masking tape off and let you see what it looks like. And I'll be back in a minute. See you in a bit. Just tweaking my camera angle there. It's Terry and I'm back again. Right, okay. So since I've done my quick candy coat with brush, obviously normally you would airbrush it in nice thin coats and build it up, but I've just done a quick brush. And I would probably normally use, if I was wanting to you know, protect something like this, Alkali 2 Aqua Gloss, but it takes like 8 hours to dry properly, which is why I use 2 times more shine. So and there might be a little bit of a blue tinge to it because I just quickly washed out my brush, but the idea is like that is the buffed up without. Then there's a quick, obviously a tape test, because as if you would tape off if you were going to use this as a candy. Obviously that's going to be a bit thick, maybe a bit of a mess for a candy job, thicker and thinner because I've just blabbed it on the brush. And then obviously again we're going to test it with the masking tape, and just to see if a clear coat, yes it's 2 times more shine and it was brushed on, so you know airbrushing it would be thinner, just to see if it really takes much of the shine off. So right, live on camera, let's go for it. Right, so let's, as you would, peel it back nice and gently. I know we're going to get some weepage and stuff like that. It's not a, oh sorry, I'm knocking the camera there. It's not a perfect masking job. It was a quick, let's whack this on and see what happens, but you know, I'm just, there we go. So that's that off. So let's have a little look at it then. Now, as you can see, right, it's, if either side, apart from where it's bled, I mean it's dry-ish, apart from where it's bled, it's kept the shine, and then you've got your paint job in the middle. In this case it is a brush candy, so you can still see some of the shine through it. Obviously it'd be better than the airbrush, but it's really just to show you that you can mask this stuff. And then I haven't tested it with lacquers, but I mean Tamiya acrylic, okay, it's a clear one that I've put on. Then your paint job, and take your masking off, obviously if you've masked it better than what I've done, and you can paint on top of this stuff, no problem. Right, as far as the clear goes, you can see a noticeable difference in colour. I think part of that is I've not washed the brush properly, but it does darken it down. Does it take the shine away? Yes, it does. So It's quite hard wearing, so if you're not really needing to lacquer it, I wouldn't. If you do, I would possibly put a fine coat of lacquer on it. It does darken the tone down though, but it still keeps a bit of shine on it. So you can maybe see the lines between. So yeah, I really do like this stuff. As I say, use it on a gloss. A gloss black, gloss blue, gloss yellow. Have a play about with it. You can paint over the top of it. You can mask it. As I say, I haven't tried with lacquers over the top, but yeah, I think that might be a bit hot for it. Right, I'm going to do another quick test. Right, other couple of things that we might use. Microset, Microsol, my setting sol brush. Okay, so we're going to do it on the part that's still the paint. So here's my set one. Where's my set brush? Dip it in the set. Let's put some set on it there. See if that lifts it off. Okay, so that's set on that blob there. This is where, if this reacts, then it's going to prove to you that you would need to clear coat it before putting a decal on, or you could just, you know, put it on the butter. So there's sol. Does sol affect it? Right, so there's a blob of sol on there. So that's setting sol. So that's a couple of common decal solutions that we would use. So for example, if we were pretending this was a bonnet of a car that we'd masked off and done a fancy paint job in the middle, and we had a decal or something to put up the side, let's just see what that does, eh? So I'm just putting my brushes away. So what I'm going to do there is I'm just going to take the makeup pad again. So the bottom one's set, so let's take the set off. And the top one's sol, let's take the sol off. Right, and let's give it a little rub up. And has it damaged the paint or the finish? Doesn't look like it to me. So yeah, I would say you could put decals down on top of it. I don't have a decal here to spare to do it with. So yeah, you basically put this down on top of a gloss coat. You can mask on it, you can paint on it, you can clear coat on it, you can set and sol on the bare stuff, get fingerprints on it. There's a fingerprint there. And a little buff up. And the fingerprint's gone. Alright, it's not a perfect chrome finish. It's probably due to the prep of my paint underneath, you know. But yeah, I mean, that's just a bit clear on there. And that's what candy is basically, is a coloured clear over the top. If I'd done it with airbrush, I would have got a more even thing with. So yeah, I think that kind of wraps it up. Personally myself, between C1 metalizer and this, there's not a great deal of difference. I just feel you get a slightly better chromy shine off of the Uschi Van Der Rosten than you do off the C1. But they're pretty much the same sort of idea of stuff. Definitely something worth having in your arsenal. I definitely think I've been toying with this stuff, the Molotov. It brushes on small parts okay, but if you go over the same part again, it lifts up. It's annoying. It can be hit and miss airbrushing. I've got a big Peterbilt truck to do that I'm going to be having to, I've taken all the chrome off. I'm going to have to redo all the chrome work on it. I think I'll be going down this line, because it's a bit, this is harder wearing. You do that on Molotov and you've ruined your surface. On this, well, you get a fingerprint on it. Sorry, I keep knocking the camera. We buff up, fingerprint's gone. Yeah, if you scratch it, it's going to scratch. So hopefully that's been a nice wee demo for you guys. Probably a bit long-winded, as my usual. So yeah, any comments at all, feel free to comment in the section down below. Do keep it constructive though. Do subscribe. And as always, happy modelling. Bye.